Okay. We have the race-winning team for the inaugural STP 400 at Kansas Speedway. And it's Brad Keselowski. He drives the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge for Penske Racing. Crew Chief Paul Wolfe. And Brad, with this win, I want you to know that you've now qualified for the 2012 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race.
I didn't even think of that one.
You don't have to race yourself in.
That's 4 years in a row then, we'll take that.
Okay, and congratulations, Roger.
Thanks.
Brad, talk about this win. You were getting high marks from Dale Jr. and Hamlin, not only on your ability to conserve gas out there, but also your ability to take it down to the wire there.
Yeah, well, you know, it was a team victory today. We had Kurt Busch, my teammate, who led the majority of the race from what I could see, and had good speed. And the 2-car had great speed as well. We just, kind of caught a bad break on qualifying with, when we won out. But, it's a team effort. Kurt had him covered on speed. We had him covered on strategy. And together, one of us two was going to win. And, I'm proud in general that it was a Penske car that won. So, hot day today, long, tiring, and feels good to soak in a victory and a beer and some water afterwards and be sitting here in front of you with a trophy and some great guys in victory lane.
And Roger, congratulations on this win today. Talk about how it all played out for you.
Well, I think it's great to see Dodge back in the winner's circle, and certainly, with Brad, came on point with us last year, and we put Paul Wolfe as a combination crew chief and driver, and to think in 13 races that now they've got a victory. So, to me, it's exactly what we had worked on. We didn't really get the finishes we want. We could always say had bad luck last week. We were third place, ready to go on that restart, and Casey Kane, ran out of gas, and we got in that wreck. But I just think it's a credit to Paul Wolfe and Brad. They're talking all the time. They're working. There's nobody more committed. And the good news is to hear Kurt say, even though he really wanted this win, to say it was great for the team and that we finally think we have a combination that we can run on the mile and a half, because we struggled on the mile and a half.
And also with this win, today, Brad moves up to 21st place in points, 1 out of 20th, and certainly that's key in this wild card berth situation. So, Paul Wolfe, crew chief, this is your first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win. Talk about how it happened.
Yeah, obviously being my first win, really excited about all the effort that's been put in so far, and to be able to get the Miller Lite Dodge to victory lane was pretty special today. Brad and I talked, I think this week or the week before, that, man, if we just keep putting ourselves in the top 10, it's not always the fastest car that seems to be winning these races. So we've kept working on our program since the beginning of the year. It was kind of embarrassed of how we ran at California and Vegas earlier in the year. So to see the progress that we've made and put ourselves in position to win these races now just says a lot about all the hard work and everything that's going on at Penske Racing. One point in the race, I don't know, we were still running 15th, and Kurt was out there leading the race, and it was pretty cool because we knew what the leader had in his car. We knew what we had, and it's just been a good team effort here of late, just really trying to understand how to get these cars better, and running similar geometries and front ends has definitely helped, I think, both of us get our cars better.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Roger, Brad, or Paul. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start right here.
Steve Brisbane, AP. Brad, I'm kind of telling tales out of school. We're in the media center. Somebody said nobody's going to call Brad Keselowski's name until he's winning the race. It sounded like you felt a little stunned yourself to find yourself in that position at the end.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the coverage, but I know that I didn't know I was leading until 2 laps to go, and kind of stretched my neck out and barely caught the corner of the scoring pile to see I was leading, and I was instantly really, really mad at my guys for not telling me, but you get over that pretty quick when you cross the start-finish line first. So, we'd already been doing everything we could to save gas, and it really didn't affect me whether I knew I was leading or not. And it was probably really smart of them not to tell me that, because I would have probably drove it really, really hard. So, it all worked out at the end, and, they talk about you when you're in victory lane, and that's all that matters.
Go ahead.
Kind of a follow-up as well. I said earlier that it's easier for guys who are running in the middle to conserve fuel because you're not up there, you're pushing for the lead. Is that kind of how things played out for you today?
Well, yes and no. I was pushing pretty hard the run before and drove up to 7th or 8th place, I think it was. And we were a legitimate, probably, top 5 car. We needed to get the clean air to be a car that could win the race. And I quite honestly felt like Kurt and I were pretty equal. It's just a matter of being up front and having the right track position. But, we didn't qualify as well as we'd like to, and so we never really found that. So, like I said, Kurt had him covered on speed, we had him covered on strategy, and at the end, a Penske car was going to win, and that's just what happened.
Right here to Kenny, and then the young lady in the back. Go ahead.
KennyBruceSingDaily.com. For either Paul or Brad, at what point in the race did you guys consciously make the decision that you were going to try to stretch the fuel mileage and go for it? And once you made that, how concerned were you that a caution would come out and all that would be thrown out the window?
Want me to answer it?
Yeah, you should.
Hell, I wasn't sure. I didn't know what was going on. I'd like to know.
Yeah, around lap 2, we know we could make it to 2:10. From there, we knew we were real close to being able to make it, the rest of the way. So as guys started pitting, I kind of looked at where our lap times were, and it seemed like we started picking up a bunch of speed there. I don't know if we got some clean air or what, but it was almost a no-brainer for me because we were only losing 3 to 4 tenths to the guys on new tires, where normally when guys start short pitting, it seems like you're losing over a second a lap, and you just lose so much track position. But it was like as everybody started peeling off and pitting, we just kept getting faster and faster, and we were still running mid, I guess it was 33s or whatever it was, and the guys were running low 33s, and it was like, well, we're not losing much, so it got us in a position where there were so many cars a lap down, even if the caution came out, we were still sitting okay. It was almost a no-brainer for me once I saw how much speed we had in the clean air.
Go ahead.
Hi, Brad. Karen Kornacki, KNBC 9 News, local station here. A lot of guys were talking about what they did to deal with the heat, whether it was a bag of ice, a cold rag, a bunch of bottled waters. Number one, how bad was the heat for you? What did you do to deal with it? And number two, what did the heat do for you on the track? Carl loved it, and Dale Jr. hated it.
Nobody loves it. Some people tell you they love it just so they can look tough. But I don't know anybody that really loves it. But, there's a part of that certainly plays in. Obviously, how you condition yourself and so forth. And I don't really want to go into any details on that. But, I've been coming to Kansas for a long time. It used to be they ran the truck race here every year in June and July. So I got used to that pretty quickly. Back, 5-10 years ago, it wasn't that long ago when I was working with my mom and dad and coming to these racetracks and outside all day, and the air conditioning never works. So I guess I built a little bit of toughness to the hot Kansas weather, and certainly being from the Midwest, you get toughened up by some people that don't own air conditioning. But it all worked out, and it's not easy. I can tell you that. You lose weight, and when you lose weight, you get drained down physically, and it seems like that pulls you down mentally. When you get tired physically, you make mental mistakes. When you get tired mentally, you make physical mistakes, and they all play into each other. But that's why we're all driving these cars, because it's not easy, and we're working hard to do the best we can at it, and that's what it takes to find yourself in victory lane at the end of the day. And to get in victory lane, you have to run a no-mistake race, and that's what we did today.
Let's go to the press box for a couple, and then we'll come back down here. Go ahead, press box.
Thank you. Well, yeah, as far as starting over from scratch, I sat down the other day and was thinking about, I guess it was at the start of the year, and I think I've been in Cup for 2.5 years, and I'm almost to 7 crew chiefs. And, from doing the partial deal with Hendrick, partial deal with Phoenix Racing, and I'm sure there was 1 or 2 others in there I can't remember. And, it's been a lot of people, and we're finally hitting on a good combination here with Paul and I, and we're on the same wavelength, and that's really what matters the most.
As far as the information sharing between the teams, it's definitely obvious that we do share all the information. I think you could see that in how well both cars ran today. And it seems like here of late like I said, we've found, we've made some gains, and I think it showed up in both cars. And we'll continue to work together to make each of us better, and that's kind of how it's supposed to work. And I feel like the relationship between Steve and I and our communication's real well, and between the drivers, I think this says a lot for Brad and the respect that he deserves, and I'm sure Kurt gives him now. He's proven that he's as good as anybody out there.
Go ahead, we'll stay up in the press box.
Hey, Brian, Brad, obviously a big win because it puts you in line with the wild card for the chase, but this win moves you from 25th to 21st in points, so you still need to get one more spot. What's the outlook for getting in the top 20 and staying there all the way to Richmond?
7 points. Yeah, I got the boss over telling me 7 points, so I mean it's certainly doable. It makes you certainly look back at races like Daytona and Talladega here earlier in the year where we wrecked out, and those are all wild card races, and we hit the bad side of the wild card. So, just one or two of those races back, and we're easily in the top 20. But that's not the way it is. So we've caught some bad breaks over the last few weeks that have kept us out of it, and certainly we caught a good one today. So at the end, it'll all average out, and if we deserve to be in it, we'll get in it. If we don't, we won't. But right now, we're on a good path to deserve to be in it, and that's really what matters most to me. I'm a big fan of the rule that NASCAR has implemented for, obviously putting winners in the last 2 spots. I think that serves the sport very well, and hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on it, but there's no guarantees of that. I feel pretty confident that's going to take really 2 wins to, guarantee your way into it. So, obviously we've got to do this again, and that ain't easy. So, I like the system, and I feel good about our chances. We just got to keep moving forward, and that's what it's all about.
Stay upstairs, press box. Go ahead.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Over that last run, how much fuel did you actually save? In other words, what was your normal expectation for a fuel run, and how much did you have to save to get 57 laps out of that last?
Well, we were only about 3/4 of a lap short, so we didn't need to save much. But the way it played out, there was nobody really pressuring us, so we went into really conservative mode. And I can't really answer how much Brad thinks he saved. That he knows that. But
I didn't save any.
We knew it wasn't. It really wasn't close. I didn't feel like it was a very big gamble. We had ourselves in a pretty good position.